Hey, I'm going to start a new quick video series about short stories and how we can get better at them and get more comfortable with them as authors. It's not going to be tied to a specific book. There will be short stories at the end of this series, but because they're romances, I didn't want people to be turned off by, oh my god, it's going to be another romance. It is, but this information you can follow. We're not going to be talking about romance specifically. We're going to talk about the parts of a short story, how we can approach them, how we can get better at them, why people have a really hard time with them, and how we can get overall more comfortable writing them. So I am going to be using Poe for some of this because we're not really building a story in this one. We don't need to worry about Novel Crafter. This is more conversation and how we can get better at writing short stories. Short stories for me are anything under 15,000 words. So, maybe a magazine subscription kind of story, anthology that you're submitting to, or maybe just a collection of shorts that you have. Or maybe you're not quite ready to write a novel, but you still want to write something. You've got an idea in your head. It's going to be quick. It's going to be easy. We're going to go ahead and jump into it. I'm talking to GPT-4o on Poe, no subscription. We have limited messages. And all of this I'm going to include in the actual video description, the comments, wherever we need to do it so that you have this information. I know sometimes it's hard to read along. When I have it writing prose, that's not such a big deal. I want you to get an idea of the prose, but it's not something that we need to have copy-pasted. This kind of stuff that I want you to have as reference, absolutely is going to be available. So here is some really good stuff on why this is hard. So some of this is repeated from up here, but it's still worth noting. So short stories need to be focused. You are telling a specific thing. I do not suggest trying to do something big and saga-y in a short story. It's going to look like it has no details and no character development. What you can do is do a family saga, but in chunks. Like, this is the 15K of that time Uncle Bobby murdered Cousin Tommy or something. I don't know. But something like that, absolutely you can do. Maybe it's somebody telling their family history, and it's done in chunks like that. Absolutely, you can do that. Or maybe it's something where the world is already established because it's a central world for you, and these are side characters that you're writing about. Maybe it's a prequel to this big novel that you have. Something like that, absolutely. But a standalone short story is difficult for a lot of people. And that's why I kind of want to tackle it and see how we can make it easier and more approachable to take away some of the scary types that you may face, where you're like, okay, I've got this idea, I want to write a short story, I want that challenge, but at the same time, I don't want to have to cut everything. And now I've written it, and oh my god, it's 25,000 words, and I can't cut 10K of it. we're going to go into that. Absolutely. This is just a quick, brief introduction to writing short stories so that we can get really to the meat of it and kind of demystify short stories for you. All right, thanks for watching. I know this was brief, but it's going to be a quick intro. Thank you.